So our opening speaker, kind of setting the spirit of the intention for this conference, is Reverend Kevin Kitrell Ross, and his talk is A Force for Good in the World, 5 Bold Steps to Building the Beloved Community. And Rev Kev, as we affectionately call him here in Sacramento, is a Southside Chicago native and the spiritual son and personal protege of the late Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman, the founder of the Universal Foundation for Better Living. He serves as Senior Minister of Unity of Sacramento, and it's the first Unity Church in the state of California. I did not know that. Following Rev Kev will be the Expressions of Unity Choir with Reverend Charles Cooper Jr. A few of the choir who were able to play hooky from whatever they do on a Friday morning to be here. So would you please help me welcome Rev Kev, and then following him, Expressions of Unity Choir.
It's an honor to be here with you. You may be seated if you're getting it. Remain standing if you're not. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. I want to begin my remarks with some words from Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays, who was the mentor to Martin Luther King Jr. When I was growing up, Superman and Spider-Man were not my heroes necessarily, but Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was someone who captured my attention. And if you came over to my house as a kid to play with me before we played with Hot Wheels and action figures and all of that, you got to get a speech from me. So just pretend you're in my bedroom as a little boy. I literally had a podium that I had designed made out of a bookshelf turned around backwards. These are things you come along to learn. And I would practice some words from Dr. King, but these are Dr. King's mentor's words. He says, you have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon you, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it. You must suffer if you lose it. Give an account if you abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but an eternity is in it. You have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon you, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it. You must suffer if you lose it. Give an account if you abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but an eternity is in it. And those words are so important because they help us to recognize the urgency of the moment that we're in. In this moment where you are right now, because you chose to be here, I want you to recognize this is an unrepeatable moment in your life. There's no do-overs for this moment. So you can choose to be here 100% present, or you can be absent to your own experience and waste a minute of your life. What brings me here today is I join with the creators of this conference in holding a powerful vision for our future. In times when separation, racism, sexism, bigotry, division seem to be becoming the new norm in our country, I'm realizing that there is a fierce urgency of now. Yes. Someone said justice delayed is also often justice denied. And so we don't have the luxury of someone coming to provide the answers. Look at someone nearby and say, you're the ones we've been looking for. You're the ones we've been looking for. Now try it this way. Surprise, you're the one we've been looking for. Go ahead, try it that way. Surprise, you're the one. That if there is to be a beloved community, we have to recognize the power of our individualized citizenship. That you're not an also-ran, you're not an accident in history, that you are an unrepeatable event in human history, and your presence here on earth at this particular time is because you possess something of the solution. Point to yourself and say, I've got a piece of the solution. Come on, I've got a piece. That you possess something of the solution. You bring something unique that the world needs at this particular time. And you can't casually present it. Do you get that? Those of us who participate in these times casually will become casualties of our own casual behavior. Are you hearing me? We must recognize that we are both meant and sent to be here. And I think that's part of why it takes so long for us to make progress in our society. Because so many of us feel that it's someone else's job, it's someone else's duty, it's someone else's turn, it's someone else's time. But I'm here to tell you this morning, it's your time to shine. So what can we begin to do to help us build this beloved community? First, we've got to find our own voices. You have something to say. And your something to say may look different. It may be different than the next person. So get out of the business of comparing yourself to the next person. I remember once taking my wife, Anita, to Atlanta, Georgia to visit the King Museum. And we went to Dr. King's gravesite, and then we went into the museum. And as we were departing the museum, my wife was bawling. And, you know, when you see these kinds of things, you know, it is inspiring, but she was just kind of bawling and wailing. And well, what's the matter, honey? She says, I'm just nothing. There's no way I can do anything. I said, wait a minute now, this you can't go around looking at Dr. King, comparing yourself to Dr. King, because Dr. King would make even the most accomplished person feel inadequate. But there was a moment in her life when she recognized what was her unique role to play. We all remember where we were the night of the election. Stop pretending that you don't. And something woke up in Anita Ross that gave birth to a movement called Women for Equality. And I want to say, had she not qualified herself and determined that her voice mattered, perhaps a half of the sky that could be lifted up would be let down right now. Find your voice. 2, respect the voices of others. Respect the voices of others. And you know what? Let's stop othering anyway. There's a mystical secret that says if you go down deeply enough in yourself, you come up in everybody else. I'll repeat that. If you go down deeply enough in yourself, you come up in everybody else. And so this other that we have named is really of our own creation. Our sense of separation, our sense of division, our sense of non-inclusion is our own creation. We've got to do the internal investigation to see that there is something that joins us one to the other. Yes? And we'll listen all the more deeply to find that thread that can connect us. And when we find that thread that could connect us, then we can do number 3, build a bridge. Everybody say build a bridge. Build a bridge. Not a wall. Come on, say it with me. Build a bridge. Build a bridge. Not a wall. When we build bridges towards one another, we have something across which we can form healthy community. So find some odd fellow and befriend them. When was the last time you had somebody at your house, not out for dinner, but at your house who didn't share your exact views, but could possibly come to some point of friendship. We hurt each other because we don't know one another, because we forgot that we belong to each other. Number 4, build a bridge and then open a door. Open a door to your house, to someone who is an other, and start building new communities with these strange bedfellows. And then show up in the world, letting love have the final word. Because that's all that really matters. Can we do it? Yes. I know we can. Yes. And that's all I got for you in 7 minutes. And so it's written, and so I've spoken it, and so you've heard it, and so it is.
And what we're going to do, we're going to back up whatever Reverend Kev said. We're going to back it up through music. As he was saying to our community, it's time to wake up. No more sleeping. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. Time for thinking ahead. The world's been so many things. What it used to be. There is so much hatred. There's war and poverty. Wake up, all the teachers. Time to teach a new way. They will listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up. The world is in their hands. So when you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. Oh, the world won't get no better if it just let it be. No, 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 no. The world won't get no better. We gotta change the world, just you and me. Serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love's in need of the love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. It's going around, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please. is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. The world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are hillsides and mountains enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. The world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. For that to happen, we have to reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Yes, 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 we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Oh yes, come on and stand up. Oh yes, we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Oh yes, we can. Yes, we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Oh yes, yes we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Because we're just one love, as Rap Cat was saying. Here we go. Everybody put your hands together. One love. Here we go. One love. One heart. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and we will feel alright. People get ready. There's a train a-coming. Don't need no ticket. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. There's room for all who love the Lord. People all over the world, join hands. Start a love train, love train. People all over the world, come on, join hands. Start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands. Start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands. Start a love train, love train. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and it will feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and it will feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and it will feel alright. Thank you for having us. Expressions of unity from the Unity of Sacramento. Thank you.